This is Goodman, back with another Saturday video! All right, the moccasins are coming off and the work shoes are going on because Goodman might not do a lot of work and the amigos do all of it for him, but he needs to be protected from the nastiness of Section 8 things so he can go home to his children at night. We have nice, beautiful mold on the wall. Okay, everything looking good. Leo breaking down the furniture so that we can fit so much into these dumpsters. And I just don't think you guys understand the severity of the situation here, okay? The floor is so covered in food and in trash. And I showed my daughter the video that I posted a couple days ago, and she couldn't fathom it and was like, what? I don't understand what's going on. I said, just imagine if we ate food and then just threw the trash on the ground and then just left it there. And she's 4 years old and can't fathom that. And these people are a little bit older than 4 years old. They might act like they're 4 years old, but they're a lot older than 4 years old, and they just do it all the time. So, I don't know, take from that what you will. We have the standing grease, the classic in the Goodman universe. We put that into the neighbor's yard. That's their problem now. And I think this is just excess at the nth degree. This is victimhood at the nth degree because you don't have money to do anything in your life, yet you have money to buy all the sneakers of the world, all the food of the world, and just throw it on the ground. You can't buy trash bags. We're supposed to feel sorry for you. And I don't know. You're buying cran apple or this is pea. I don't know. It could be pea. At this point, who knows? All of these Nike shoes, all the toys, they're just scattered around. They just left. They just left them. And I was like, thank you for leaving the Target cart because my kids are very excited to play with this. Yes, I still take the toys for the children. Always for the children. This is one dumpster full. We did another one. Next video, I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. I'll see you then. Bye-bye. This is Goodman.
Listen, man. I understand when it comes to Section 8 and waiting lists and all that type of stuff. I don't know if as a landlord you're able to cherry pick and interview as, just being able to scrutinize well enough to make sure you know what you're getting. That's cool. But at the same time, I feel like when you met these people, there's no way that there wasn't at least a few context clues, some type of inclinations that you could have went off of to say, because when you living like this, I mean, come on now. When you're living like this, I don't care how much you try to clean yourself up to try to interview and try to, put your best foot forward and make a good first impression. There's just certain things you're not going to be able to hide through senses. I know you had to have smelled something on them. You had to have been able to see something about them. And when you dug into their history, something had to come up to where it lets you know that this was a risk, a big risk. And now this dude has a lot to clean up, a lot of damage. That mold looked insane. That was a different type of mold. And that's another thing. I mean, they're living under these conditions. I'm just saying, man, there had to have been some context clues that you could have went off that would have flagged in your mind to let you know, maybe I need to second think this, or because at the end of the day, it's your property. It's your property at the end of the day. And if you start getting cold feet and you start feeling like, this seems like it's going to go left and it's going to end up being more on me when it's all said and done, then you got to do what you got to do. Y'all, before we get into the next clips, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It helps out more than you know, and it's just a click. And then also if you can hype the video as well, and also if you can follow the Clips channel, and it'll be pinned and posted as the top comment. But let's get back into it.
Rent. You do pay rent because you have to work.
It says that the caption says she pays $758 towards almost a $2,000 Section 8 rent. So I'm guessing the rent is close to $1,900, $2,000, and she pays $750 of that. That's her portion.
You do pay rent because you have to work. If you're an able-bodied person, you have to work. And you do pay rent. I have a fixed income. And my proportion of the rent is nearly half of my income.
Okay, for full context, how much is your rent?
Say that again.
How much is your rent?
The rent for the house is $1,909.
And how much do you pay?
My portion of that rent that I paid toward that $1,909 is $758.
Okay, so you're paying, let's say 40% of the house?
Yep, and I pay all of my utilities.
Okay, fair. How big is your house? 2,400 square feet, 1,500 square feet, 1,000? How big is your house?
It's probably about 2,400 square feet. I have 4 bedrooms.
So you got how many kids you got?
I have 3 boys. They're all grown.
So right now, all your kids are grown, and the government's paying for your house because of your disability?
Hold on. What? She got 3 boys. They're grown. And they're all living under Section 8. How does that work? Why? How does that work if they work? That's what I don't understand. Honestly, your 3 boys, even with dead end jobs, could pay the bills there pretty comfortably if they split it in 3. And that's not even including you. I mean, if we take all 4 of y'all, that's only $500 each. They could, even if they were in school, they could get a part-time job and come up with $500. And if you had a full-time job, because it's not like you got kids to raise, this is very doable. So I'm not understanding. What this tells me is they probably couldn't work even if they wanted to. You probably wouldn't allow it. Because if they work, but they're still up under your house, that would mess up your Section 8. 100% it would. She's probably not even letting them work. It's probably an ultimatum that if they want to work, then they would have to move out. But how are they supposed to start building up the capital to move out if they can't work?
Yeah.
I have 3 boys. They're all grown.
So right now, all your kids are grown, and the government's paying for your house because of your disability?
All of my kids are grown, and the government pays a portion of my rent.
Okay, she got
Right, so
I
if
disability.
they're
pay
paying
the
a
other
huge,
portion.
okay, so the government's paying a huge portion of your rent. Would you agree with that?
No, I pay the majority. They don't.
Excuse me?
So your rent's 1,900, you're paying 700, correct?
758.
Which means another 1,200 somebody's paying for. Would that be the government?
No.
Uh, okay, what type of disability you got, ma'am? Is it a mental disability? I thought it was something physical. I was going to give you some slack. I didn't know you was disabled. But you can't do simple math. You just laid the math out right in front of you. And so is this stubbornness or is it all not clicking upstairs? That's what I want to know. Are you just being stubborn and you don't want him to be right, which he is factually? Or like, do you just not understand? Is what I'm trying to understand. And okay, you're disabled, I guess. But you got 3 boys. You got the perfect scenario for why this shouldn't be this way. You have 3 sons, 3 grown sons. They pay the lion's share. They pay a big portion of your rent. Because honestly, your son should really be leaving. And then do you still get to keep that 4-bedroom house? That's what I want to know. I'm assuming you had the 4-bedroom house. That was what you qualified for because you had all these kids. But even worst case scenario, it sounds like it's time to get downgraded to a studio apartment, which funny enough, somehow you're bringing in money. So whether that's from your disability or whatever, you're bringing in money. I would argue if you get into a studio apartment, then that's much more doable. You could probably pay just about the entirety of the studio apartment with the 758. And maybe the government can, instead of paying you 1,200, maybe they can put an extra 200 on it. And now we're getting somewhere.
No.
What am I missing?
Well, Section 8 is the government, so yeah. But I pay the majority of that rent.
No, ma'am, you don't.
Okay, the overall bill is $1,900, correct?
Yes.
You're paying $700, correct?
I'm paying $758.
Cool. Let's say $800. So the other $1,100 the government's paying for, correct?
No, they pay by about.
I know I don't hear her with some paper. She done took out some paper and a pen, still trying to be right. Ma'am, just admit that this brother's right. Just need to be right so bad. You hear her back there fumbling with some paper and a pen, she's trying to tally it up. He's already laid it out and you've agreed.
$100 the government's paying for, correct?
No, they pay by about.
Ma'am, do you understand logic?
Hold on. Let me look at my
Where's the money?
Rent. You do pay.
This is just getting sad now. This is just getting sad. This is sad. You got us. You're just fully unproductive, ma'am. You so unproductive. You got us sitting here being unproductive, arguing about things we don't even got to be arguing about. It's pretty clear. She still want to take it the whole way through. She still got to check the math, even though he just went off her math. And so this is what I mean. It's like, honestly, in the community, it's such a distrust. It's like, nah, this man's saying I'm not paying the majority. I don't believe him. I got to check on that before I just completely agree with it. And even when I agree with it, finally, when I accept the reality, I'm still going to be like, all right, well, and I'm going to just brush past it. I'm not really going to take accountability and be like, oh, I apologize. I don't know why I was being difficult. My bad. I'm sorry. This is how far we got to go. Ma'am, you don't trust him. If you got to pull out some paper to do that simple math, you really shouldn't trust yourself. You should be ready to accept somebody else's input. If you got to do all this scrape and fumble around for some paper just to be able to subtract $1,900 from $750 and be able to see which side pays more.
The truth is, y'all hating on me because I live rent free and I can afford the luxuries that y'all dream about for me and my kids. I'm going to continue to buy my luxury bags while the government pay my rent. I'm going to continue to go on trips and do the things that me and my kids love to do while y'all struggle to pay for a grocery bill and I'm swiping my EBT card.
They don't get that when we talking facts is reality. But like I say, right, it is what it is. And everybody live life, be free, you heard me?
Just telling on themselves.
Because of that video I made of my family of seven.
The caption says, I got evicted from Section 8. Thank you, taxpayers.
Because of that video I made of my family of seven living in a 2-bedroom apartment and me only paying $50. Somebody on here was so miserable to go report.
But why? I think that there are actually regulations on how many people can be in, or if someone is living there that isn't authorized to live there.
Now they gave me an eviction notice for 30 days. So now I need a lawyer. Thanks to y'all taxpayers that are so mad that you're paying my $50 in rent. Y'all contacted the housing people. I don't know what you said to them, but
No, they're not paying your $50 in rent. They're paying the majority of rent, and then you only have to pay $50 in rent.
the housing people, I don't know what you said to them, but now me and my family's getting evicted and we're gonna be on the streets. So thanks a lot.
The thing is, you go on the internet. There are clear rules. You break those rules. How are you possibly surprised that there are consequences to those actions? Hey, you broke the rules. You're going to face the consequences for breaking the rules. And I think that is fair as a taxpayer.
Because of that video I made,
And Riley gonna learn it.
Yeah, he brought up a great point as far as You just don't want to take accountability for your own actions the same way you don't want to take accountability for your own life. You are clearly defrauding the system by your own admission. So you want other people to be responsible for taking care of you and the kids that you decided to have, and ultimately the circumstance you decided to put yourself in. But then even now, it's everyone else's fault. When you tell on yourself online, you decide to be disclosing information of the bad things that you're doing behind closed doors. And then you think that you have a plausible case to come on here and try to still hold us accountable as if we put you in this position. I think that's incredible. And that shows a track record for not taking accountability, which is going to lead to a track record of horrible outcomes. So there's no surprise that you end up in this situation when this is how you move. All right. It says, Peach is reporting Faith Ann Riley to Section 8 bright and early in the morning. Okay.
Ann Riley gonna learn a valuable lesson about mixing personal and business. Her deal with Peaches was wigs only. Why you was over there telling her you was on Section 8? I don't know. Why you told her you didn't have a good relationship with your 20-year-old daughter? I don't know. Why you was over there telling her about the fight with the people? I don't know. All you had to do was go over there, do business, sell your wigs, get your connects, and go home. Y'all was not friends. It was a partnership or a quick collab. You went over there and poured your heart out to her, and then you low-key big girl to her or whatever. And now she about to go to the Section 8 office Monday morning and report your earnings to Section 8. Now, one thing about Section 8, and when they ask you to turn in them Facebook pay receipts, when they see all those videos of you making all that money, when they see how you viral on TikTok for paying Young TT $2,222.22, when they see how you made over $11,000 one day with Peach and you didn't report none of that, sweetheart, you could kiss that Section 8 goodbye, and they probably gonna give you to the end of the month to be out. So was it really worth it? What y'all think? And
she's making that type of money. You telling me she made $11,000 in one day? $11,000 in one day, and she's on Section 8. And so she was basically doing things she had no business doing, but another person who's telling their business. I don't understand why people can't just keep their business their business. I don't understand why that's hard. And then I don't understand when people are surprised when you know that you're doing dirt and you can't even keep your own business, but then you're surprised when somebody else can't keep your own business. I think that's incredible. But I mean, this sounds like this is crazy. If she's making $11,000 in one day, which she could probably take less than half of that money and pay up her Section 8 for the whole year. That she could probably pay up her Section 8 for 3 years off what she made in that one day. And that's insane. And see, you're making that type of money and you're getting over. And then there's somebody else on that list that's waiting who really needs it. See, this is what we don't think about. Okay, say what you want to say about, oh, don't hate the player, hate the game. Yeah, but there's somebody who really needs that. And that's why these waiting lists are so oversaturated to the point to where when people actually need shelter, whether it's because of DV situations, whether it's because of about to be under the bridge situations, they can't get it, and you living comfortably all this time, just running it up and then gloating about it to other people.
She was paid $15 in Section 8. If she see this clip,
What is it, like a 3-bedroom or 1-bedroom?
3-bedroom.
Because inflation kicks in as well, right? So
But
if milk was $1.25 5 years ago and today is $3, that's inflation. The cost of goods has gone up, right? But yet your salary is still the same. Guess what? You took a step backwards.
Yeah,
so where is the disconnect where
but let me ask you a
it's not
question.
making sense
I
for
thought
us Americans?
When people in Section 8, they don't really pay much.
Who?
When they're in there, they're not paying much.
Oh, of course not.
So if you're not paying much, so that means you can save money. So if you don't save
Who's
money,
not paying much? Section 8, right?
No, the person who's in Section
person
8.
on
If
it.
I'm in Section 8,
Sometimes they pay everything, or sometimes you as the person pay $100, $200.
I was gonna say
whatever.
I know a lady. She was
Yeah.
paid $15.
Okay. Wow.
$15. 100%. She was paid $15 in Section 8. If she see this clip,
What is it, like a 3-bedroom or 1-bedroom?
3-bedroom.
Like 5 kids?
She only got two kids. Or two.
Okay.
When I know her,
she's
got
single?
Woo! So, one of the nice lady decided to provide this contract for you non-believers. Drum roll, motherfuckers! Alright, for you slow motherfuckers, let me break this shit down. Her rent is $1,541. As you can see, if you can read, up top, boom, 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 tenant portion. What is the tenant portion? Say it with me now, goddammit, say it with me. $1,050. Housing assistance payment? $491. I dropped Smike. Now, I know you motherfuckers that still non-believers gonna come up in here trying to dissect this video, but fuck you and your mama.
Well, here's the thing. I think everybody in the world, in this economy right now, just about, would appreciate being able to get some discounted rent like this. I think everybody could use a little bit of relief in that way. But the fact still remains, regardless if people have to not pay the lion's share of it or whatever. Why do we still have kids and continue to make the situation worse? And continue to add more overhead when we already can't get by? The main thing is, like, why can't we just see? Because the thing is, if you're just single, which honestly, it really doesn't matter if you got kids. Even if you're a single woman, you're going to get some help if you need it. But the bottom line is, I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to turn around a single childless situation. But then we see people who haven't even established themselves yet or built up any type of foundation, any type of safety net for themselves. They know they don't have anybody else to depend on. And then they decide to start taking on more responsibilities and sabotaging their life ultimately, and bringing innocent factors into the world who are going to have to struggle with them. And ultimately, they just end up surviving with kids who, once everything's said and done, the kids come out into the world and they're really not prepared because they wasn't really raised. They were just maintained. They were just maintained. And so it's a lot of people in these comments too saying that. It's a lot of people. Shay says, I'm on Section 8. I make $30 an hour. My portion of rent for 3 bedrooms is $1,361. Somebody said 30 an hour in Section 8 is crazy. But she says she's in California. Uh-oh, she says, I'm in California. My income has increased significantly since being on Section 8. I'm a single mom of 3 in school to get my bachelor's. See? And it's like, single mom of 3 in California. And then you going back to school to get your bachelor's now. Huh? You got 3 kids. You got to work. That time you can go to school. See, that's another thing. Some people will be trying to get on Section 8 to buy them some time so they can go back to school and all that. And hey, take advantage. I guess take advantage if it's out there or whatever. But I'm just saying, how you got 3 kids and instead of picking up another job, you go to school? That's just my opinion. Because what are you even going to school for? What are you going to school for? Because if it's that hard and that arduous, it's like, how are you even going to continue to work? How do you continue to work? I don't get that. But yeah, that's a lot. And why are we having 3 kids and deciding we're going to be single with 3 kids? I understand there could be nuance, but I speak in generalities, and more times than not, man, she might have 3 different fathers. That's a very good chance. And so we just making our life hard. We're making our life harder than what it has to be. Somebody else says my rent $1,300 and my portion is $972. Amy. Eve said, anybody got anything to say about people on Section 8 just hating and you jealous and mad because those vouchers can be used towards the mortgage when they purchase their first home as a first-time home buyer, and you can look that up. Really? You mean to tell me? I had heard about that, but I really never gave it much thought. But so you mean to tell me people can get a mortgage in their name, which ultimately is their equity, and then their own equity as well as appreciation is going to be subsidized by taxpayers? So we're paying for people to ultimately build wealth? Is that what's going on? Is that what's going on? Next thing you know, somebody going to be talking about they got Section 8 stocks where we subsidizing them their 401k. That's pretty crazy. I think we'll leave it there for today, though, y'all. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels, so that's why. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days, and hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So it's usually best practice, if you want to hype, to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a newer video. And then also, if you want to become a member of the channel as well, the join button's on the video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family would get you is you would get badges next to your comments, where it will show people that you are a member whenever you leave a comment, as well as you would get early access to content and also exclusive content that's not available for everyone else on YouTube. So again, if you want to become a member, the join button's on the video. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.